Yeah, and so all we're here for is this facility study.
And can I ask you, like, one question came up like 2 weeks ago at the select board? Somebody had asked why, if the maintenance of the dredging of the fire ponds should be under capital? And it doesn't have to be answered tonight, but I realized it wasn't brought up last week. And
So we do have, and we had talked with Kristen about reviewing our, I'm gonna say, our SOPs, our standard operating
Yeah.
procedures. Because we do have definitions, but our definitions don't include anything that I personally would term a service where you're doing,
That's part of,
dredging, I mean, if,
that's preventative maintenance for a
Right.
fire hole. And there's
Because we
no,
don't have town water.
there's no capital investment in it, it's
right,
just
there's not an
maintenance.
item.
Yeah.
But we used to do hot top,
Yeah.
which is an item that would get, I'm gonna call it used.
Right,
And I used to argue against hot top.
but see, you have to pay for that,
Right.
where we do the fire holes ourselves.
Oh, yeah, so then we're not, yeah, so that would
But they
be,
were, but yeah, they were talking about the dredging where you have to, I think you have to have like somebody from DEP or somebody involved to make sure you do it properly.
No, that's new, I haven't heard that.
Because we had to do that for my condo association. They have to follow certain guidelines when they clean the retention ponds.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if somebody has to come in all the time when they do it, but you can't like just go in and clear it out.
and say, hey, I did it.
What the difference is if you haul it away, you have to haul it away and it has to be, make sure there's nothing harmful in it
Yeah.
being hauled away.
So you can't just dump it someplace else.
All we do is take it out and put it on the banks, usually. We just take it and,
And who's the we who does that?
town does, DPW does usually,
Okay.
you know, they'll go around with
Or
the,
members of the fire department used to, but
but they'll go in with an excavator and they just move around the pond and just dig it out,
Okay.
which hasn't been done for a lot of years.
Yeah. So my guess is Kristen would say that's a special article if it does not come out of operating budget.
Right.
But it used to be that all of those special articles came through capital planning. Because in general, we're supposed to review, our SOPs say we review anything that is spent that is over $5,000. Kristen comes from a background where it's over $5,000 plus it's an entity, it's a thing, it's a computer, it's a bookshelf, it's a,
But if it's done in-house, which is our own equipment, it's basically our own people who are already on the clock, it's our own equipment, so you don't have to.
so that, I mean, that should be just part of their like
Right.
everyday stuff, it shouldn't be a special
Exactly
thing.
right, I agree with
But
you.
if it ends up where it's, they hire a company or it becomes a special
Different story.
thing, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So, that's my best answer, does that work?
I don't know. I wasn't the one who asked the question. I was just bringing up that
Yeah, yeah.
there is this like fuzzy.
There,
certain things are.
certain
Yeah.
things are definitely fuzzy.
Yeah,
And things have changed with the what I'm gonna call the change in management. And,
sometimes
we
everything
just
isn't
need to
in
sit
black
down
and white.
no, none of it is in black and white.
Yeah.
That's why there's a bunch of us.
That's why there's so many committees.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Kristen could just come in and
Right, be like,
read
check this,
everybody's
yes or
reports and
no.
say this is good, that's bad, and we're done.
So anyways, how are we going to, what are we doing in order this? How are we gonna,
I have no idea
Well, give it
because,
to the order that it's on your computers.
okay. Well, so the problem is, I love your idea. The problem is that we have 2 pages of paper to fill out, and we have
yeah, a bunch of things.
15 really well-documented entries. I don't know, I just gave.
12.
What are the
12.
what are the 2 pages that we have to fill out?
So these are, it's 5 questions, and the 5 questions are First, do you agree or disagree, or do you disagree with any information in the report?
Yes,
Okay. In reviewing the recommended improvements, which ones do you feel are most urgent? How do you propose to fund the cost of these improvements? Are there any recommended improvements you would not do? And I lied. And do we, recommend selling the building or land?
So that's one for
So,
each item.
These are one for each item. Anybody know how to operate that copier out there? I'll go make 12 copies. No?
I can go to my office and
Thank you, Eloise, for making me read the paper and realize that it
Before you
was.
came in, I gave this to everyone.
Oh, you're
While I was
awesome.
reading that thing, I put some numbers together. If it's useful, okay. If not, we'll just ignore it, yeah?
They're, first, useful, always
Yeah.
useful.
Okay.
Would never ignore. But second, I found this sort of hard to figure out.
Took me a while to read it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
as it
I
pulled out.
was reading, I read these like 3 times
Yeah,
over different days because,
and the graphs and everything else.
Yeah, I
and it's
didn't,
still a lot. I think one of the hard things too was.
It's well written, though.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever we
Yeah.
paid them, it was well worth it.
Yeah, but it was like kind of trying to do the so this is good because it was trying to do the comparison between the different,
yeah,
Yeah,
facilities.
it's
I
tough,
just extracted a few numbers, like
yeah.
how much buildings are worth and how much it would cost us.
Yeah, yeah, it's, makes
Immediate
sense
cost.
seeing numbers like that. Do you remember off the top of your head, I know Kristen said that they put the hold on the old fire department roof.
yes.
Do you remember that number?
It was in the, facility study, wasn't it?
What,
I
think-
didn't remember
I think
seeing it in the
2 years
facility
ago we
studies.
approved.
Was-
that.
We
it was-
did.
It was in the
Yeah,
facility.
we did, and
26,
they
26.
chose not to spend that money,
Okay, then
even,
just take
yes.
the building down.
Well, my question is this,
Or-
is it,
Come on.
is it worth, I mean, what's it gonna cost to tear it down?
Right,
Is it worth putting a new roof on it and be able to house the, Worcester the Council on Aging van, or is there something that can be useful with it by fixing it other than tearing it down?
The report says immediate need is for $23,000 to fix it.
that seemed, I mean, I think we gave them 30 for the roof, or
Yeah,
35.
I think we did something like that, yeah. And then the next year or two, it might cost us another $57,000.
Well, that's the question, you know. It says,
Right.
what did it say? The old fire station, 23,200 appraised at, immediate need at 23,100. And 1 to 2 years, another 57,000. So to me, if I'm looking at that, I'm gonna say, no,
No,
you don't put money into it.
right.
And I'm sorry, you said that was the old,
Old fire station,
okay,
it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down.
okay.
So, you know, if you're looking at it, what the appraisal of what it's worth, then what you need to put into it now, and then what you might have to put into it in 2 years.
Yeah, and then also reading from it, the other issue, I think, is that location, and
so
I noticed
much,
some of the other
Eloise.
ones, they've mentioned that they're not ADA compliant for parking and things like that. So it's addition, like, to make them usable, like, if you're just gonna, like,
See, that's where I wouldn't go with it. It would not be public use.
So, why don't we work our way through one of these questionnaires that Eloise just
Sure.
brought me?
okay.
And we'll start with this old fire station.
Okay.
Is that what it's titled? Old
Yeah.
fire station? Oh my god. Number of times. I made it quiet.
Yeah, I have watched that, listens to me, talks to me, so.
Oh,
Jesus.
that terrifies me.
What's that?
Old, things that watch and listen to you. But I turn the volume off on my phone all the time and it goes on by itself.
Oh.
And then I turn it on and it shuts off by itself. Okay, old
Okay,
fire
old
station.
fire station, that's where we are.
Right.
Do we disagree with any information in the report about the old fire station?
I didn't see anything. I
The
don't know.
general thing I have about the report is, we have a municipal Berlin aggregation, so we get our energy at 12 cents
Mhm.
a kilowatt
Mhm.
hour. And I believe when I was reading through the report, they referenced 24 cents a
right
kilowatt
about
hour.
Yes, they did.
So,
Electrical costs.
yeah. Yeah, 'cause they're
The
not,
other thing that I did probably different than this group is, having been a former selectman, et cetera, I also looked at what could we reuse to avoid an expense. And I thought, if we had to enlarge this building, perhaps one of the things we would do would be to move the food pantry to the old fire station.
You're right, I remember you saying.
You're
that.
not gonna buy a piece of land in Berlin for the tax money that you don't pay for the old fire station.
Right.
And the food pantry has appointments, so parking wouldn't be an issue. I like that it's on a public street. It provides visibility, just like I like having many hands for secondhand clothing run by First Parish Church. It's right out in the open.
So where's the food pantry now, down below?
It is utilized by the kitchen, the former kitchen of the school. Now, they're taking out the stove so that they would have more space. Part of the problem with the food pantry is, if you're gonna stock up on tissue, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, they're bulky. But if you do that, repair the old fire station, they could go there, and then when the police get their
Addition, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
their addition in this building, which is the town offices.
I corrected that, yeah, thank you.
Then that would free up 2 rooms downstairs, because when I look at, 20 years ago, June and I shared an office at the old town hall.
Yep.
And now she went from, this office, and now she's in a bigger office. You now have a council on aging director. We used to have the veterans officer, but he was only part-time, and he'd just come into the selectman's office, but now he has an office of his own. I'm not saying that they're not valuable, and I think they will be valuable as the town gets bigger. But that would free up 2 rooms downstairs. Because right now, the police use what was formerly the library in the school. That's their weight room.
The other thing is, if we do that, make that if that was into a food pantry, then you would have to be the ADA compliance.
That the parking would have to be upgraded too.
Yeah, and you would have to put an ADA ramp to get into the building.
Probably just open up the doors. Except in the middle of winter,
Right,
perhaps.
so, I'm just saying, that would be the only
Yeah,
downfall,
but
but I'm
it
looking.
has a very small step up, so you.
But I'm looking, if you look on the numbers page on this here, if you look at the systems expenditure forecast, and if we go by based on what they're saying, they're talking $23,000 the first year, then they're talking year 1 to 2 at $362,000. I mean,
And also, if you convert that into food pantry, then you have to get rid of the stuff, junk that's in the building now.
Agreed,
Does
true.
fire department have room to move there? And, there's an old fire truck there.
But I thought that was in the little building next to it.
Oh, I don't know, I didn't think there was anything in the old fire station.
Yes, it did.
Oh,
It's a fire truck, and highway department, they have a street sweeper and other equipment
Okay.
there.
I mean, that's something you would have to deal with,
Right.
Well,
granted, but I'm just saying is, I look at, you know, that's a minor problem, really. I don't think that's a major issue. My major issue is the dollars they're looking for long-term to keep the building functional.
I would like the need discussed.
No. I had
And I wouldn't want it just here. I would like to include the
Yeah.
finance committee,
Yep.
the selectmen,
Yep.
and the planning board, because planning looks at the town on what's gonna
Yep.
be up in 5 to 10 years.
Yep. I do not like to tear down buildings because it takes a tooth and nail to put one back up again. So,
Well, when I was a selectman, I had, when we were talking about, you know, renovating this school, I always thought it would be a good idea to have it so that the fire trucks could go out there as, because we're in a congested corner.
yeah,
But DEP will not let you go over an intermittent stream.
oh, that's right, there's a stream there.
Well, I have a different approach here because there's a lot of guesses here about saying the food pantry could go there, but thinking of it as, is this space that's worth saving to be used as space for someone? And the reason I'm saying that is because we don't know what all the requirements are for someone to operate a food pantry. So we know that the kitchen here meets their needs that they need to
Yeah,
serve the
but
community.
they basically have,
Yeah, but I'm saying like legally, how they're supposed to keep, vermin, rats and things from getting into the food, making sure everything's safe.
Refrigeration, freezer.
Yeah, like there's a lot that goes into when you're giving services out to the public. So instead of like focusing on the food pantry, I would say focus on any entity that could possibly use this space. Like say, is this building, if we have an entity that could use it, is this building worth investing in the repairs?
And I
To
think
keep
that's
it
basically what you were saying,
Yeah.
you wanna,
But-
that was one of the items you were saying, could it be used for? It could be used for a lot of things, it
Yeah.
could be storage of the council on aging van, it could be used for a lot of things.
Yeah, but I think I should focus more on, instead of a specific use, because the food pantry hasn't come in and said what they need, but just focus on, is this building worth investing more money in? Do we agree with what the report said about the repairs that are needed?
So maybe we circle back to the questions. So the first question was, do we disagree with any information in this report about the old fire station? And I did write down, yes, energy is calculated at the average rate of 0.42 and not 0.12. So that's something I can just happy to repeat in all of those, in all of these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But is there anything about the old fire station in this report that we think is incorrect?
Not what I can see.
I didn't notice. No.
I mean, it's in tough shape, I've been in there, it's,
yeah, but they've let it go.
Yeah.
no doubt about it,
Right.
no doubt about it.
No
We did
argument
not
there.
have a facilities person that took care of it, and I don't argue that point at all.
How about in reviewing the recommended improvements, which ones do you feel are most urgent? For me, I'm gonna stand up and say roof, exclamation point, exclamation point,
Yep.
exclamation
The
point.
town, I believe, voted them to repair the roof, and they just never did it.
Somebody
they held on to
chose
it, Eloise,
do it.
Huh?
But they were waiting for this study to just, they didn't wanna put a new roof on it if it was decided they weren't gonna keep the building.
Who's they?
Kristen was saying it was the select board or whoever,
Yep.
they wanted to put a hold, they didn't wanna spend that much money, and then down the road, the study come back and say, this structure's not worth
So
building, then we spent 23,000 for nothing.
when we approved that roof, we
Yes.
completely agreed with that. We did not wanna approve that money for the roof because we wanted to determine the value of the building first.
Yeah.
However, at that point, we were 2 to 3 years out of getting this study funded and
Right.
fighting, because ARPA didn't exist, ARPA did exist,
No.
something like that.
No,
And-
it was basically right before COVID.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so we were like, we gotta do the cheapest, and I remember, people trying to figure out, like, what is the cheapest bare roof minimum we can do
Right.
just to
Put a
buy
top
time?
over it.
In time.
Yeah,
Tarp over,
which
yeah,
is
so-
what it was at that point in time, and
So
then,
that thing wasn't done?
no.
Yeah. But this is what gets me though, is it's appraised at 23,200, and it's gonna cost $22,200 to fix the roof. So the roof is costing as much to fix as what the building is valued at.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree. I wonder, is
Who
the lot
appra-
itself only worth $23,000?
That's what the appraisal price is here.
Yeah,
Yeah, but did they use their own appraisal figures? or
They
did
used, this
from
was
the
the,
Assessors.
this was the
the study
the
people.
study people did the appraisal. I would have hoped that they did their homework and did it the right way.
Did a
you know.
real,
I would say the way this was written, this whole report, I would take as a guess at,
If you look at this thing just from the money point of view, it's not worth it. I would
No.
raise the building. But there's a sentimental and need issue there. It's probably bigger than $23,000 bill.
granted, that's what, and I agree with you. If it
Yeah.
was strictly a money thing, I would say it's not worth it.
No,
But I agree with Eloise. I think that
right.
it can be used, putting some money into it over a period of time, it can be used for other things.
I think it's the cheapest reuse of the property.
Yep, I agree with you. Because what are we gonna do with it if we tear it down? You got a piece of property sitting there empty with nothing on it. And then you're getting no use out of it.
Selling Christmas trees.
Well, I'd like to hear other people's,
Well, I think the point is that I worry about is if it came to like you had to tear it down, would we even have, you or somebody else had mentioned this earlier, would we even be able to put something else up there again?
No, because there's no septic, there's nothing there.
where does the bathroom go?
No, there is one there, but once you take a building down and you go put something up, now it doesn't meet Title V probably.
Oh, right.
And you gotta
and
put it,
you've got a different
Well, you-
use there.
yeah,
And you don't have the lot minimum,
right,
because there's no way that lot is 2 acres.
right.
So that's an important consideration then, if we wanna have that to be usable space, we need to fix this building.
Correct.
Yeah,
And I think, like we were saying, I think the beginning of that is fix the roof so nothing gets any worse than it already is.
right.
And then do some stuff later down the road that is reasonable to do. You know, fix the bathroom maybe, or fix the floors
Just to
and, you know,
clean up the place.
clean it up.
I was disappointed to see that Boy Scouts are there, left such a mess.
Yeah,
What are the Boy Scouts, what are they teaching them?
yeah.
Are you sure it was the Boy Scouts?
They're
Yes.
upstairs.
But they were told they weren't,
They-
did
yeah,
they
they
get
hadn't-
suddenly kicked out because it wasn't usable?
It wasn't safe.
Yeah,
And it was another building that they were heating and they didn't wanna heat it.
Right.
There's a kitchen up there,
Yep.
full of mice droppings and everything's open and busted, and what the hell?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is you gotta start someplace.
yeah.
This place is the roof, so it doesn't, structure is
Somebody
sound.
has to take the ownership of that building.
Yep,
And then you work on the structure afterwards. You look at the sills, you look at the siding, so the exterior is sound, and then you work into the inside. Even if you're using it
So-
for, even if they're still using it as a storage for a fire truck, make the outside structure and the roof sound. And then when you work on the inside, then you worry about the other stuff. That's my
So-
feelings.
What's our recommendation now?
so, right, so I wrote, in reviewing the recommended improvements, which do you feel are most urgent? I wrote number 1, roof.
Yep.
And then under the next thing, the next question is, how do you propose to fund this improvement? I said, already
Already funded.
funded.
Correct.
So, that's just me being a little snotty.
No, well, it's true.
It's true. That money is
No,
sitting
well,
there.
Okay, 3 years ago, we put, what, $35,000 into.
Something
roof?
like that.
Something like that. Did money just disappeared or?
No,
No,
it's
it's
just
sitting
sitting there.
Huh?
It's just sitting there.
Oh, it is there?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is there.
Well,
Yep.
then, let's fix the roof and
And-
save the building.
Let's start there. Any other recommended improvements you feel are urgent? I mean, there's a ton, but is there anything that needs to go on our list?
Repair roof, make outside,
I mean,
What's
make
the word?
structure sound.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so basically, the first thing that they're recommending is the roof and then plumbing, whatever the plumbing issue is. That's the two things.
Interesting.
That's 23,200.
I saw that and
Right.
I've lost it now.
Then, the 1 to 2 years afterwards is where they're getting into the structure. And then there's a plumbing, but there must be a basic plumbing issue there for $1,000,
Right.
you know? And then they go into electrical HVAC. See, and that's the price that bothers me, is but you don't have to do the $126,000 in 1 and 2. I mean, you can do, the next year you can do the structure for 65,000. The next year you do,
Well, how much of it, I would like to know how much of it can safely be done in-house,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes when it's raining and you, in the summer, and you can't, you know, you're not out mowing,
So
They can walk
There-
on the inside, yeah.
their key issues are extremely worn painted exterior walls,
Yeah.
rusted exterior stairs,
yep,
damaged areas on concrete walls, excessively aged windows, rusted entrance doors, severely dated interior finishes and elements, leaking and tarped roof, excessively aged plumbing infrastructure and fixtures. I can't say this word. Really old HVAC components and infrastructure. Building lacks fire suppression, aged electrical infrastructure, outdated fire alarm, heavy asphalt wear, severe alligator cracking and potholes, inadequate site lighting.
yep.
So they don't specifically say what their plumbing issues are,
Yeah,
but
I just was reading that myself.
probably a toilet in the kitchen.
I think if
Probably.
you scroll
Yeah.
down, there's a chart that was talking about the plumbing. They didn't have a picture.
I think the heating system was upgraded, because when I walked through it, it looked pretty decent a few
it
years
says central
back.
system forced
Maybe.
air.
Right, plumbing.
furnaces.
Plumbing is distribution, copper supply, and
Yeah,
cast
that one.
iron waste and venting, hot water, electric water heater with integral tank, and fixtures, toilet, and sink. And that's all in the poor.
Yeah, if we
There we
wanna
go.
save the building, do the roof first,
Yep.
Yeah,
and then clean up
I mean, the other stuff,
the inside later.
some of this other stuff, actually, depending on how our facilities manager, how much work he's got, some of that stuff can be done by him,
in-house.
inside, even outside, you know?
Upstairs, inside, has to be totally stripped, because everything is hanging down from the ceiling, it's really disgusting. But anyway,
I was only in there once for my Cub Scouts so that they could slide down the pole.
Yep.
And I did not slide down.
Oh, so their plumbing for $1,000 is to replace the electric water heater in the bathroom.
That's what I figured, yep.
yeah.
They don't say why. Let me see if I can find why. Like, is it
As a
broken? Is
guess-
it not working?
What, it was done it was built by the fire department in, what, the early 70s?
Yeah,
Water heater in poor condition.
yeah.
The water heater is not functioning. Aha!
So,
Yeah.
the whole
But
thing with
that's
that is,
the last thing you wanna do in the building, so nobody lives in it, nobody uses it.
so they might have done is shut the water off,
Yeah,
and then the elements burnt out because there was no water in it.
yep. I've seen,
I think
we've
the
had that
more
happen.
basic question is, do you want to repair it over 2 or 3 years and reuse it, or?
That's the question.
Yeah,
I just hate getting rid of a building that can be used, because like I said, you can't get another one up there, because they'll never allow you to put one up there.
so are there any recommended improvements you would not move forward with? I assume they mean
At this
ever.
year?
No, I assume they mean
general?
ever.
No.
Like, oh no, I really like the old flaking paint in the
Yeah.
1870 town hall. It's the only color of orange we could ever get.
I would put something like, no, there is, all things should be upgraded over a period of time.
And I would move the,
And here's
Front
another
doors
prime
in the back.
example, is after Assabet gets done with this project, there's another project. Get them to do the inside, electrical, plumbing, and woodwork.
yeah.
But you see, then that also gives them time to think, because there are so many, there are various different ideas that people have around, like Council on Aging has wanted to have like its own community center, so.
Yep.
Yeah, but when they were talking to me a couple of years about, they were talking $2 million.
Well, that's what I'm
Brand new
saying,
building.
if we have a building that is, if it's agreed that is reasonable enough to do the repair work on, I mean, that's one of the reasons the facility study is it worth moving forward with the improvements? It could become a combination like food pantry, community
Well, I look
access.
at all the jobs that have just been implemented in the last 5 years. You now have a council on aging director, which you never had.
Yep.
But we've had that for a while, because
She-
before, Victoria isn't the first COA director, there's one before her as well.
She's saying 5 years, though.
Okay. But the-
Yes, but she is now full-time. The
Yeah,
other one was like 5 or 10 hours a week.
no, there was one that was half-time, and then she was half-time managing the
Town hall.
town hall, and then she left, and
And
Victoria.
then she got a better job at almost twice the pay over at Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
So, what's the point of this conversation?
Oh, what I was saying was that, for what you're saying, like, we're gonna say that we're gonna move forward with preserving the building, that's worth paying for
Yeah,
the repair work. It also now has this space, this whole building in play, that as people are trying to figure out how to find spaces for their departments, and you were talking about Assabet coming in,
I
you can
just-
start thinking a long-term plan, it's like, oh, this could actually,
but those are the type, yeah, but those are the type of things I'm saying you could do to bring your cost down. In all honesty is, what they do with the building down the road is not up to us.
No,
When
but
do you
you
have
have to
to
But
raise
I'm
the
saying-
project?
but I'm saying is that
At
somebody
one
could
Well,
change
then
it.
point, we
finish
only
with
have
fifteen.
one
On
ambulance.
the
Now
15th.
we have
Huh?
2.
By the
Yeah.
15th.
You have a council on aging
Oh,
vehicle
we're gonna
that
need
you
another
didn't
meeting.
have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The
Yeah.
highway facility has a bucket truck that they got through a grant with and share with Clinton,
Right.
but it's something that we've gotten in the last 5 years,
Yeah.
and they might need to store extra stuff at the old town barn.
Yeah,
Mhm.
see, now that could be stored in the old town, right, in the old town barn. And the council on aging, which is in the old town barn now, could go into this one.
Could,
So anyways, that's where you gotta look at it. It's basically, our decision is it worth repairing, and I'm gonna say yes.
So does your committee recommend selling this building or land? Yes
No.
or no?
I don't.
I don't.
Okay,
We take a vote. I think that's important, because I know there are people who want it to be sold.
Okay, so that last one is really the vote one that we have to worry about, right? Or do we vote on this whole,
No, you're voting on per building.
no, as I'm saying, we vote on everything we just did. Do we approve this form that we just filled out as a committee?
I make a motion that we approve this form that we just filled out as a committee, including a no vote on selling the property.
Second,
Any
Aye,
discussion?
Steve.
Aye, John.
aye.
Aye.
Okay. That's a good point, do
Yeah.
each one that way.
Yep, okay.
Good.
So that was, go back to the top. I hope that was the most controversial one.
It felt like the training wheels one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Well, once you get the format down, you're fine.
Okay, 1870 Town Hall.
Go to the top.
I didn't bring my mouse or anything, so it's gonna yell at me a lot.
You transposed your numbers.
I did, probably.
1780 and should be 1870. Actually, its official name is just Town Hall.
I didn't catch that one.
Okay. So they have it appraised. John, I'm really appreciative of your
Yeah.
thing here. It's so much easier to read than theirs.
Because I was getting all messed up in my head, so, okay, let's put it on the spreadsheet. And so,
So what did they say needs to happen for years 1 and 2?
okay, we have to look at it
I
now.
gotta
Yep.
look it up.
Didn't get there.
So it's on page 5.
Is it?
Page 5 is immediate needs.
4, 5. Needs by year, I
Oh.
don't like that graph.
I don't like the
Okay.
graph.
No, be below the graph if you,
Here we go.
yeah.
Exterior walls in poor condition.
Basement wall in poor condition.
52 grand for that. I will say, whoever did this report,
So if you look at the bottom of page 5, it says the immediate need is stair treads, granite, and replace.
Oh, they said one of the stairs going up was wobbly.
Mhm. And that's at 7,400. And then under that is a list with the pictures of everything else, starting on page 6.
so the first year issue, they say immediate is structure at $7,400.
Yeah, that's the stairs.
Yeah, short-term, 1 to 2, as, I never say this word, is it facade or facade? Facade,
Facade.
facade, I never say that word right. So that one they're talking is
You're
57,000.
saying it the way it's spelled.
I know
That's the
it.
problem.
So that's one of those, that really is, that, what does that building come under? Does that come under historical commission?
Yes. And it is on the
National
National
Register.
Register.
Yeah. So is there grant money available for maintaining that building, do you know?
I don't know, but I can put it down and ask. There is grant money, it's competitive, it's through the Secretary of State's office, because I get the little postcards as the town clerk.
Yep.
So first, do we disagree with any information in this report other than the electricity cost?
I don't,
I
Did you-
don't.
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. I mean,
So what they're saying here is what I'm reading, Eloise, is they're saying, short-term, immediate, $7,400. And the short-term, 1 to 2 years, they're talking about the roofing, not the roofing, the interior, site pavement, in 2 years, $94,000.
I don't know, it's a slate roof.
Yeah, and that's, boy, that's tough to get people to work in them.
the 19 Carter just had a great crew out who redid their slate roof. I have no idea how much it cost, but they did a beautiful job.
Oh, yeah, because there's only very few people that do it, and the ones
Right.
that do it are good. Yep, there's no doubt about that.
so the immediate, I didn't put it down.
$7,400 for the
That's
stairs.
the stairs in front.
And then
Stairs.
the basement, yeah, the foundation is leaking. So that was their next big.
I think that's more important than wobbling stairs.
What do we-
Wobbling stairs are a trip hazard if somebody
Yeah,
falls and
that's
hurts
safety.
themselves,
Yeah,
then
Yes,
it's,
it's
that's a
safety.
lawsuit
Then it's a
waiting
huge
to
thing.
happen.
Yeah.
What did you say we paid for electricity, 14?
12.
12, okay, so they have it as 24.
I know, that I
24?
felt was a
24.
glaring error.
That's so weird, because on the old fire station, they have it as 42. So it's different in every report?
Not everyone, as
Yep,
I was reading it, you have to realize it's midnight, 1 AM. I didn't make a copy. I couldn't read my writing the next morning.
So they're showing that,
There were
Average.
different people doing these
Yeah, I
reports.
bet
looks
that's
like
it.
average per month, if you average it all out, it's about $350 a month to run electricity there.
Yeah, but then you have to half it because they've
Yep.
doubled what you pay.
Right.
Wow, that seems like a really low electricity bill.
Well, and
$350
that's
a
last
month
year, and
for-
I'm just, this is it. And I'm just averaging, that's July 22
yeah.
to June, so I'm just basically running a line across at
Yeah.
350. Which is, but, you know, stop thinking about it, there's really no lights on there unless somebody's using it.
It
Yeah.
used to be a very alive building.
Yes, yes.
But as they've siphoned off things to this building,
Yeah.
and they didn't want to rent it out when it was, when they'd have to heat it up.
Yep.
The community preservation is gonna be holding a meeting there. I forget the date. I was at their meeting. It was just Tuesday night. And if you come early, they'll get sandwiches. They'll offer sandwiches and some food.
Cool.
Well, they have a recommended,
Because the
energy
person
conservation.
who does he wants
see
to
this.
explain community preservation.
When are they doing that?
Huh?
When are they doing that meeting?
It was sometime, like between May 20 and May 28.
Tim Wheeler
Yeah,
wants to explain community, is there questions about community preservation?
Or this,
there are always questions.
Okay,
is
fair,
this about
fair.
the CPA or community preservation in general?
Bit of both.
Okay.
And he, this guy, I want to call him senior, but that's not his name. But he is the go-to person, and he will say, this is eligible, this is not. A lot of things you can do if you use the right terminology.
Cool.
They cannot support maintenance, but if you say, you know, massive rehabilitation,
So back to our 1870 town hall. In reviewing the recommended improvements, which ones do you think are the most urgent? I'm gonna say stairs and leaking basement. Those are mine.
okay.
That makes sense.
I'll agree
Anybody
with
else?
that.
And how do we propose to fund said stairs and leaking basement repairs?
Are those,
Find a rich
those are
person
wooden
to pay
stairs,
for
right?
it.
The granite,
Oh, those are the front ones?
the front
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
I mean, it's $7,400, capital
Yeah, but
stabilization.
That's not a big, shouldn't be a big
I know
deal.
I've seen pictures the last time it was repaired, and I almost think it was sometime in the 70s.
Boy,
So if you
yeah.
have-
So it was a long time ago, that's for sure. I don't really remember it when it was done.
I'm gonna say free cash for the stairs. I'm not
Okay.
gonna say that. I'm going to suggest to my committee for the stairs, for $7,400,
Okay,
free cash. Anybody?
I second
No
it.
arguments? Okay. Now for that basement. So if it's a historical building, would it fall under the historical commission and their fundage?
It should.
So could I say community preservation or historical commission or,
it's under the Historical Commission.
okay.
Now,
Take money from the Bullard House.
yes. That's what we should put in it. Take money from the Bullet House and put it into the 1870 Town Hall. Now, the next one
Well, just
down,
remember the Bullet House and the Town
That's-
Hall share the same septic.
I know, but I'm just saying, the bullet house and me don't get along well.
What did that house ever do to you?
Yeah. Did it
Excuse me?
steal your girlfriend?
I said, what did that house ever do to him?
It's the amount of money that we put into that house and haven't seen any significant change.
That's not the house's fault.
I didn't say
That's,
anything.
that's because personalities got involved.
Or fire
So
the
it-
person.
so anyways,
And you have coffee with one of the
The
biggest.
parking lot in poor condition, we've already approved the money for that.
Yes?
Yeah, I thought
Yes.
that was something that they were working on already.
No, we approved that from Freddie this year.
Yeah.
We've already approved that for next year. So you might wanna put that's already included in their,
In current budget.
yep, for this 2025.
It's FY '25 we're working on, right, Julie?
I hope so.
I get so
I'm
confused.
like, I'm actually, yeah, because people have already started talking about FY '26.
Oh, no!
See, I like the way they do some of these, what they did is,
Mm-hmm.
they actually listed some of the stuff, like this one for the door, do it in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And I like they
Yeah.
Some
do
of
it.
them, they say due in 2023.
Well, yeah, that's when the study started, right?
Yeah. Okay,
what-
page 2. Are there any recommended improvements you would not move forward with?
No, because we've already done the most expensive ones,
Yep.
which was putting in an elevator and
Yep.
Yep.
But then it says 3 to 5 year expenditure, 456,000. That's huge. What,
Well, they're also mentioning in 2025 the exterior walls.
Yeah,
Well, that would be,
new clappers.
that would be repairing and replacing clapboards, recaulking, stripping and repainting. That's what that would be that.
So I think it's a bunch of smaller, I call it smaller. Yeah, so it's like
Yeah,
the exterior walls for 50 grand,
And you gotta look at it.
the foundation for 50
And
grand.
you gotta look at too, the appraisal is almost, 2.1 million.
Yeah,
So what you're putting into it, you're gonna keep that appraisal value up, so you wanna keep that up there.
yeah. Do we as a committee recommend selling this building or land?
no.
No.
could you do that as a vote?
Yes, yes, no, I will do it
As a complete package.
just like I did with the other one, unless you'd rather I do it differently, Eloise.
I just have to keep telling myself to get it in here so that when I'm translating this,
Oh,
Okay. Any additional comments? Okay, so I make a motion that we approve this questionnaire about the 1870 Town Hall as we just all discussed with a unanimous agreement to not sell the land.
second,
All those in favor say aye.
Steve, I,
Aye.
John, I.
Aye.
oh,
Eloise, aye.
aye.
No pressure, Eloise, I'm not trying to force you into anything.
Well, I can't write and listen.
I can't, I know that.
Oh, I can't, I always write down whatever I'm talking about. Okay, municipal something.
Julia, you can't vote, but how do you feel?
on the town hall.
Yeah,
I'd like to see it get more use.
Yeah.
It's a really nice space. And I've been there for a few events, but as you said, nothing much is going on there.
Is that, we used to have a director of the
we do,
18, do we?
Sandra Pendergast.
And is she active?
I don't know.
You have to kind of advertise that we have space available. And you kind of advertise that we have this available, and we have elevators to get to it.
Handicap and
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that,
they
Right.
have what they call a party kitchen. You're not supposed to cook in it, but if you bring in catering, they can serve from it.
Oh, that's good. I went for, at, the holidays, cause First Parish had its, bazaar, I forget what they call it. And then across the way, they had a whole bunch of vendors in the town hall. with
The
all-
artesian something or
Yeah, but
other.
it was really nice. I mean, there's a lot of different people there. They were using the whole space.
Yeah,
Um,
And they have pizza once a month, don't they? On Friday?
yeah, but I think that's at First Parish
Yeah.
Church.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right.
So the municipal,
Yep. Do we disagree with any information in this report? Wonder what they're
No.
charging for electricity.
What's the 1 to 2 years?
Um,
144,100.
so they talk about they want the concrete sidewalk replaced?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a
But-
tripping hazard.
I know, but what I have even more important, and I think more important than that even, is the exterior walls in poor condition, but I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the chimneys. If those bricks fall
Oh.
out, they'll start punching holes in the chimney.
Yeah, a few years ago, we were talking about the roof
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the heating system. and
Well, that's all that's done now, right?
The
Yeah.
air handler has been done.
And-
This year, Freddie, on the next budget, he wanted to clean
The air ducts,
the air ducts. that's
which we approved
Yep,
already,
we
yeah.
did.
Which
Right.
we've
Yep.
approved.
But this one here
Okay.
is the chimneys, and if you're looking at the picture, the mortar's coming out of them, those bricks start falling on the roof, it'll pop holes in the roof. In
yeah.
the membrane.
Mortar falling out.
Did you see that, John?
Yeah,
I had that happen to me in one of my buildings, older building in Hudson. And that cost me more to fix than it did the chimney.
I'm sure.
I mean, they're saying repair in 2025, which I agree with, if not sooner.
How much are they saying for
10.7.
10,000? That
And
seems,
that's for the
as
chimney?
somebody who keeps trying to get a chimney fixed, replaced, that seems super cheap.
It's only repointing. Now, all
Oh.
depends. They might
If-
look at this, say, listen, we're gonna take this all the way down to roof level,
Yeah.
reflash it and rebuild it up. That's what they had to do in my house. They just tore everything right down, took all the good bricks, kept them up on the roof, built it back up again.
That's what they have to do in my house.
Who
Yeah.
did you use?
Why'd you have to ask me that?
How old is this building?
This,
No, the other, well,
This building's 1952.
no, the chimney is not,
1950, that's this
1952.
building, yeah.
oh, okay.
That's original. The only reason I know that,
you were probably here.
I was born then.
Well, first, and then 2 years later, they realized, oh, there's a baby boom. And they had to put an addition, and that's these
Yeah.
4 classrooms at the end.
And then the portables that were there for, how
Yeah.
many years?
Yeah,
20
they were
years?
supposed to be in for 2 or 3 years, and they were like 30.
24 years, 25 years?
They have this electricity listed at 20 cents a kilo.
Yeah, that's
Well, they're
weird.
getting better. but-
Why wouldn't it be consistent?
Why wouldn't it be the same? If you're gonna- None of them have
Well, look,
been correct and they've all been different.
Sometimes different things are done by different
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
okay.
Now, that begs a question,
Wow.
did we actually pay 24 cents? So where did that number come from?
We don't know,
Yeah,
no. We
Which
paid.
Did they
kinda
actually
should
look at
maybe
the
make
bills,
us wonder where
monthly
any of
bills?
these
I
numbers
don't,
came.
I can't answer
See
for them.
this one?
Hmm.
The plumbing system, poor condition?
Oh, I saw that cost on there.
I didn't see that when I first looked at it.
$250,000 for plumbing.
For what?
Plumbing.
Plumbing system is poor,
It was on the,
$255,000.
Yeah, for which side? The town side or the the public safety side?
I'm gonna probably say the town, where the hell is the sink lavatory like that?
Well, see, part of the problem is they saved money for the heating system. So sometimes when it's calling for heat down at the public safety and we're roasting
Yeah.
and we're calling for air conditioning and they're in the same pipe,
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
That should have been corrected with the new system.
Should is such an elastic.
Now, this one here, then I'm looking, and I'm asking Eloise, it says split system ductless in poor condition. Are those gone? 'Cause this
I
was,
don't believe so.
yeah. I was wondering where the new system was in.
It was just the air handlers on the roof of this
Okay, so that's the
building.
one that they just replaced, package unit in poor condition.
We're supposed to be looking at grant proposals for next year, so we can be timely and submit them. The
Yeah.
state only wants you to get a grant every other year.
So,
A grant for anything or a specific?
Energy,
Ah,
I'm
okay,
on the energy committee.
you are.
yeah, so I wanna really say the
Cost
chimneys
conscious.
are, to me, important. I'm not sure about anybody else.
The what?
The chimneys?
The chimneys.
All
I
right.
got that first.
All right,
No, wait, I want to back us up. Do we disagree with any information in this report other than the electric cost?
no,
No.
Okay.
I do not.
In reviewing, we feel the chimneys are most urgent?
Yes.
I think so.
I
Only
wouldn't-
standpoint, it could cost more down the
Why don't we
road.
surprise everybody and say, yeah, we're gonna sell the building?
You know what? We could all move into the old fire
We'll save a
station.
lot of money.
We could sell this building and
Yeah.
repair the old fire station.
See,
Or
no,
we
see,
could rent WeWork space.
see, now,
Oh, there you go.
To
Move
Worcester.
back to the old.
see, I look at a
town hall.
lot of this stuff being a maintenance, mechanic, industrial. I look at stuff differently than these guys do. So I look at generator in poor condition, right? So it says generator reached its useful life. Who determines the useful life? I have one that's 22 years old and works just fine.
Be-
And it says have holes rusting through the engine compartment. Replace the doors, you can buy them. You don't have to buy a whole new unit.
Well, see, that's part of the problem with the town hall, because I know, because I wrote the grant, I typed the grant that Walter wrote, and that's how he got 200,000 to bring the 1870 up to speed.
Yeah.
Because he said the dual uses in an emergency, that's where the old people would go.
Yeah.
And here would house the families because this was a school and we
Yeah.
had the school cafeteria.
And it's right, I agree with that.
Yes, but not if they're taking out the refrigerator, if they're taking out the stove, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things change.
I mean, granted, I look at this stuff, yeah, it has to be done, but this is stuff that should have been done over a period of time if we had a facilities manager.
But we didn't.
How well do you talk to Freddie?
How well do I? Fine, I mean, I don't talk to him that often, but I get along well with him.
Yeah, but you're in maintenance and he's this town,
Yeah,
we never had it, and then, it was Dennis Bartlett, who was hired as the highway super, and,
I think, and that's not talking about Denny, but having a highway super doing facilities is a wrong way of going.
I'm married to a
It
facilities
was-
guy. You don't want him doing your highways.
Yeah.
yeah, but then Keith Clemmer, and Keith Clemmer's daughter is married to Denny Bartlett's son.
Yeah,
They made him the facilities.
yeah.
And then when he left, they made Freddie. And I think some of it is they just have to grow into the job until the town is ready to.
Right. I mean, just, I'm looking at this, everything I'm looking at, and like I said, the one that sticks out the really the worst is the chimneys. Everything else, yeah, it's gotta be done, but it's not,
Every other
Sidewalks is
want
probably
me
the
to-
one after that. Plumbing is probably after that, but that's the big dollar one.
Yeah, but I was trying to find out, is any of the plumbing gonna be upgraded if and when
Right.
they do that job with
The addition,
Assabet?
yeah.
So there,
Or is it over here?
That's a good question, I don't
Yeah.
know that. I would say no by the looks of this plumbing picture. I would say this has been around because it's got asbestos on the pipes, and when they built that, they didn't allow asbestos.
I also would agree with Steve, because when I read it, it says municipal offices,
Yeah.
and public safety, municipal offices.
Yep.
And so to me, because it says municipal offices 4 times, it makes me think it's just in
Yeah.
this section of the
Okay, so
building.
now to answer my own question about that split system, it's public safety building.
So
no.
that would get repaired,
Yeah,
replaced.
so it says public safety building, municipal office and public safety complex. So that answers my question when I asked you, so. I mean, the flooring in the offices here, I mean, it's been here for a long time, but is it all that bad that we have to spend, $7,000 on it?
Didn't we just repair flooring last year?
You did, on some flooring.
Yeah.
The insurance company, when they complained, showed them about the water leaks, they come in and they repaired the ceiling, and then they repaired some of the floor, but I noticed in one spot, there are 2 spots
Well,
that
you
are
know,
adjacent to each other where the corners have chipped.
and I love this report. The tile is dated.
Who
So
cares?
what? The cracked and chipped is the what I'd be worried about.
Right.
But the tile dating, who cares? You know?
There are cracks on this wall, look at
No,
Yeah.
we would say our flooring is historic.
I like
Our
that.
flooring is very historic, and someday it will come back into style.
Right.
So I like the chimney repair, priority. I also like the sidewalk repair priority, because I
Yeah.
did
That's the second
notice
one.
as I was walking in, even today.
Do you wanna call out that that duct, the split system duct, will probably get replaced because of the anticipated
Sure.
Assabet project?
I don't think that's gonna be involved, but that's fine, we can do it anyways. I think we're looking strictly at the interior, I don't think we're gonna be looking at.
Well, they're gonna add HVAC to that
Oh, that's right,
interior.
that's right, you're right, all right, yeah.
Just because if somebody comes back and looks at this later, they're like, why did you miss that?
Yeah. Because,
We didn't think it was that important.
it didn't, yeah.
I know coming up the stairs, the tile was chipped, and that's when they put the rubber over it.
Yep. I mean, when you have it in that place, doesn't necessarily have to spend $7,000 to do it. You can get,
Whenever you buy it, I always found it was a good practice to buy an extra box or 2.
sure,
Just to keep them.
Building like this, you might want 10 extra boxes.
There you go.
you know what I'm seeing, and I saw it just recently? St. Vincent's Hospital, their hallways, they did away with all tiles and put waterproof, engineered vinyl planking down.
Luxury vinyl plank.
Yep, but it's waterproof. So, they did all their hallways, everything now is all that stuff, no more tiles. And it's cheaper to put down than it is, because you can go over luxury planking, and go right over this.
I have it in my kitchen.
Yeah,
We just
Is this
did
the
a whole
kind
bunch
that
of it.
laps together,
Yep.
so you
Yeah.
don't have to, so you can, if you have to do a repair, you can kind of take it apart and put it back
it's,
together?
it's actually, the new stuff now just snaps in, that keeps the water from getting down between it. Okay,
Okay, so our chimney repair, how do we propose to fund said chimney repair?
Well, you said 10.7. If it's that necessary, I'd call that free cash.
Free cash.
Yep.
How about our sidewalk repair and
how
replacement?
much was that?
I would say in-house.
That works.
Yeah, they're talking $4,000.
it. Do we have a maintenance, building maintenance budget or something like that?
It's $10,000,
We don't.
I think. I can't remember, something got put in. I think there's a line item in for maintenance now. under the highway.
Yeah, it's like 10 grand, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I think we ought to sneak that sidewalk repair under the $500,000 we got for sidewalk repairs up in the center of town. Can we sneak that possibly too?
Well, we'll ask them to verify that they know how to do it by doing this.
Oh, yeah, they
do
gotta
a trial
demonstrate their
run.
skills.
All right,
Are there any recommended improvements you would never move forward with?
you know, as much as I'd hate to not spend the money, but
Build a dormitory? No, just kidding.
I don't have a problem with that anymore.
I hate to think, because it's not just the dormitory, they're putting in like what is it, they have.
There's a lot of projects
Do
in that.
addition, yeah,
Yeah.
it's more than that.
And I look at it as it's also helping our educating our young people too.
Yeah,
Okay.
All right.
Do we recommend selling this building or land?
Yes,
Yes,
just for fun.
Yeah, yeah.
see if anybody.
well, I was looking at between updating the plumbing and updating the heating system controls, it's $500,000. If you look at the heating controls on this one, how do you scroll up in yours?
Oh, you touch it.
Scroll down, yeah, scroll
Scroll
up,
up.
like that, yeah, I wanna go down,
Nope, the other way.
keep going,
I'm trying.
You know who figured out the heating controls
keep
in
going,
this
keep
building?
going, keep going.
$500,000?
going.
Something doesn't make
Greg
sense to me.
Tremelling.
Well, I lost
He
it, I
now
don't know where
lives
you are, but I can
on
find it again here.
Colburn Road.
What's that?
Greg Tremelling.
So right here, VAS HVAC controls in poor condition. Cost estimate, $226,000,
Come on, what the hell is going on?
okay? Upgrade, install, that's in 2025. And then you got between that and, where's the plumbing? And then the plumbing system is $255,000. So you're talking $500,000 for two things just for this building.
Okay, so I said that's why we're gonna sell it.
Yep.
Yep.
We're gonna sell an $8 million building for $500,000.
And this is our capital planning. They're gonna be like, no wonder those people
We're
make those
tired of
choices.
spending money.
I will point out, this is only the third form we filled out, and we're already getting punchy.
Yep,
Yeah,
Okay, so I make a motion that we vote to approve this said paper about the municipal complex and public safety building as we just discussed, including a vote to sell it.
I second that.
well, I think we have to really delete this to sell. That
Yeah.
was a joke to wake us all up,
Sell
Yeah.
it, wink, wink, we don't mean it.
yeah.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, what's our next one?
DPW barn.
Is that the current?
Old highway.
Old highway. Do we know who owns it yet?
Who owns what?
The old highway barn.
The way it happened when I was the selectman, the town owned the land, but once we put in a septic system, we had a shared well. Before they put in the septic system, that's where June grew up. And then her father worked on the highway, so the guys would go in and use their bathroom and. But they get right of first refusal if we decide to sell it. I
But-
think,
The thing is, they don't even they don't even know what the deed is. That was the problem is, just they don't even have they can't find a deed for it.
who's they?
Well, Kristen does, like, they were looking for the deed for it, that's part of the problem too, they don't,
I personally have looked for the deed for it and not been able
The
to find it.
assessors probably have it.
probably was done on a handshake.
It's not,
As far as the Beards having right of first refusal, no, because that had to go to town meeting.
No, I was like kidding.
Oh, okay.
Back then, a lot of that was done that way.
Well, the highway bond used to be the horse bond for First Parish Church.
Yeah,
Oh,
And they moved it.
so,
You're talking frugal Yankees. Okay, so what's next?
Old highway
Yeah,
department.
so do we disagree with any information in the report?
I don't.
Highlight it in 50 words or less.
Highlight what?
The old highway.
Roof, they want a new roof, they want new parking lots, one exterior door. The exterior light should also be replaced. The fences are falling down.
Yeah, but those aren't
That's
the
not critical.
town's fence. I believe that's Bobby
I was
Wheeler's.
gonna
I
say that,
believe
I
it's
think it's
his.
Bobby Wheeler's too.
HVAC, and they would like to, sorry. They would like to renovate the space that is either a kitchen or a bathroom, question mark.
They share the same space.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Well, it's scary, but they did.
Okay, do you wanna make a point then that, about the fences?
That the fence is not,
That that's a mistaken report?
okay, look at that, yes, we do disagree. Fence listed belongs to neighbor.
So there's a question, what do we wanna do with that building? We assume we're keeping it?
I think this whole thing is just an exercise to try and figure out what is important to people.
Okay.
I think for what they're looking at for dollar-wise to fix this thing, it's the cheapest building so far. That's scary.
I didn't argue with that.
I agree with looking at the roof from what the
Right.
picture is. I would say roofing is number one. That's at 15.4. Parking lot, they really doesn't affect the structure.
What was 2?
Parking lot.
The parking lot doesn't really affect the structure. They're doing this whole thing, including parking lots and stuff. Well, the parking lot doesn't affect the structure.
But from a municipal standpoint, it affects
I know that,
the-
but I'm looking basically to
Yeah, but-
keep this,
You said the roofing, and then you said something else, and I didn't catch
I'm-
it because I was writing roofing.
you didn't have to write the second one down. I was kind of rambling on about
Oh,
the
okay.
parking lot. Roofing is number one, I would say, my recommendations.
Yeah.
Parking lots,
Nah.
no.
So their recommendation, it looks like on their list, they recommend roofing and they recommend bathroom,
Yep, and
Yeah,
I agree with
would
that.
go with the bathroom /
non-kitchen.
well, the reason, okay, that happened when I was a selectman.
Yep,
I had no control over what they put in, but I felt it was important that they have a toilet there.
Yeah,
And if you're working on cars and you get oil in your eyes, you need access to wash out your
yep,
eyes.
you're right.
But that building was then occupied, now it's not.
But why can't, I think as you buy more toys for police, highway, fire, I think it's important they can bring the trucks there and fix them.
They can still work on equipment in that
I
building.
mean, the cemetery.
Yeah. So I agree with you, Eloise, that roofing and interiors is the two main things that have to be done.
So how much they,
so 15 for roofing and 16 for bathrooms. And
31.6.
that's 2 fancy bathrooms. Yeah,
Basically, what they have to do is put a wall in there separating the units and then fix it up.
okay,
I've been in there.
that's the priority, it's the roof.
I
and
used
the
to hold my
bathroom.
rabies clinics there.
Yes, you did. I went there for the rabies clinics.
you guys all had rabies?
Yep. Frothing at the mouth.
So
It has
impress
to be a
yourself.
requirement.
Yeah,
for
Anna,
working
you
here.
can
Alright.
give them, yeah.
Yeah, right,
Right.
no, I can't, that's
No?
not my deal. No, I
So,
mean,
you
I
know-
can, but,
And
not my
after
deal.
that, if we go to number 3, it'd be exterior door, which is small dollars because that's a security issue. Other than that, other stuff can,
so that door though was like $1,000,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
how do
which
we
is-
wanna fund all these things? So it's a total of $32,000 that we're talking about for all three of those things, the roof repair, the bathrooms, and the exterior door.
Recommendations?
I would see if it could be done in-house, then free cash.
Roofing, I would say no, Eloise. Cause then we have to find a way of disposing asphalt shingles. So that would, you wouldn't wanna get into that part of the business.
Okay, that's
Free
valid.
cash. Bathrooms, Assabet
Yeah?
/ free cash.
Yep.
I asked
Hey, if they're
that.
willing to do
I
stuff for us, I'm
can't
willing to
spell
have
it.
them.
And then in-house, I'm gonna say for the door.
Let me ask you, and Eloise, go to you, cause you're old school here. Can anybody volunteer, so if somebody says, I wanna go in and do this bathroom over,
It
Can-
depends, what are you talking? I mean, if you're
and
talking
I would say,
about,
say all of a sudden, say, hey, listen, I wanna go in and I'm gonna give you $10,000, I wanna go in and myself do that over. Is that
Do you-
acceptable?
do you have the qualifications?
No, but I'm just saying,
Yeah, but see, that's
can
it.
anybody no, let me put it backwards. Let me go backwards to that. How do I wanna word this differently?
Only because we are a public building.
Right, but I'm just saying is, and I'm gonna use it as a construction guy, say a guy that's in that building, construction. He says, I wanna go in and do this building and supply the materials. Does that have to be voted on by the town, or does that have to go to town meeting, or could selectmen vote and say yes?
If it's in somebody's budget, it would be with David Marble and Pop Bartlett, it would be a wink and a
Yeah.
handshake.
Okay,
I was gonna
'cause-
say, I feel like that
But
stuff
you have to be
happens.
careful because you do deal with liability
yeah,
That's,
and.
well, you'd have to have, whoever did it would have to have liability insurance, just like of a regular job. You know, I'm just curious about if it has to be approved. I mean, I know it has to be okayed, but I was looking at,
Since we've had town administrators, things have gotten a lot more
stiffer.
stickier, yeah.
Are there any recommended improvements you would not move forward with?
I always thought that if they went through with it, that might be a place to put the historical, because they have wash basins and farm implements, which people forget. 25 years from now, we are the past.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it has some minimal amount of heat,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it might be a place for them.
Yeah,
Without, I didn't want to spend additional money.
yeah.
Mhm.
So are there any improvements on this list you wouldn't go through with? I feel like they all make sense.
Yep.
Do we recommend selling the building?
Oh, the only thing is parking. I mean, hell, it could be a gravel parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we
making
recommend-
that you want parking, meaning that you want parking, or you don't want parking?
Parking would be the very last
Yes.
thing I
Yep.
would
Yes.
be interested in.
Yep, definitely.
You know, if they had extra tar after they did a road, fine,
Yeah,
Okay,
because it doesn't stop you from using the building.
correct.
do we recommend selling the building?
No, I say no, Steve says no.
Not that one.
No, I say no.
I would sell the other two old ones. but I don't-
Okay, so I make a motion that we turn in this piece of paper as filled out, as we just discussed, with a vote to not sell the building.
I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Steve says
Aye.
aye.
Okay,
Why are we even looking at the new highway behind?
Well, what do they have for the electric, the cost of electric?
Let's see.
And I thought they were supposed to be getting energy stuff to be put up there.
I thought they were doing that too.
Solar power.
Yeah,
but everything moves so slowly. They probably are. Do we disagree with any of the information
For the new highway
for the
department?
new
Yeah.
highway barn?
Well, what-
They have nothing immediate, nothing short term.
Yeah, but what do they have for the cost of electricity in the new highway building?
Yeah, look at that spike there.
Good question. Where'd I lose that?
They have, they have, 30 cents,
30 cents.
Yep.
Now,
average
much-
utility rates.
did that building cost us, do you remember?
How can everybody's building be different?
I thought it was around $4 million, right?
What's that?
How much did the new highway barn cost?
3.2.
What was it?
3.2.
No, that's evaluation now, but I think we paid more for it.
That's what we paid for, is 3.2.
No, because what happened was the specs came in, it was too expensive. And so they had two choices, make the building smaller or go back to the town for more money, and they made the building smaller.
I thought they did away with the solar too when they did that to bring the cost down.
Well,
I think.
But I still think it was over $3 million.
Too many offices.
Because the big joke with the old timers is we don't need a $3 million building. We could have built it for half that money, put a knee wall, put a steel building up and been happy with it. Who needs a brick front for a DPW building?
why? Because they have to keep segregation between male toilets and
No,
female.
I'm talking about the exterior of the building.
Oh,
We didn't need a nice brick front. It could be just a metal building.
Is there anything with this building that, no?
No, there's nothing immediate with this building.
Right,
And the
so-
big cost is electrical.
Right.
but they used the wrong number.
Yep,
I would put
again.
that in the
I
report.
did.
And and they're putting solar on the roof, aren't they? Isn't that already installed?
No,
No,
I think it's been contracted like a year ago,
Oh.
but I don't think it has
I thought I
happened.
went by and saw it on the roof.
I have no idea.
Huh.
And I was just there for the rabies clinic.
Man, you
guess
and your
I was
rabies.
Tired.
So,
Because you
I,
have rabies.
so this is pretty cut and dry,
Okay, so, there's nothing else we disagree with.
right?
Which improvements do we feel might be the most urgent?
The rod on.
Use
Solar
the
on the roof,
correct-
use the
Uh,
correct, yep,
The solar on the roof's already been approved,
right.
so.
just finish that. Finish solar power.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
The town loves new buildings.
Mhm,
Sure.
They hate repairs.
mhm.
I know it.
And if you don't repair it,
Deteriorates.
it's not cost effective.
And it basically, it comes down to you have to have like, for instance, my facility. I have a 5-year game plan. Every year I have to do a new budget for 5 years.
Well, they're supposed to.
That's what they're supposed to give us.
Tell you
Yeah.
what they're gonna need for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
The only one that really does it is the police.
See, now, you remember I was talking to you last week, we were talking about the HVAC? My guys already been in, they're installing, they started installing today. They're actually coming in and working from 3 in the afternoon to midnight. They're actually doing the office after hours, and that was part of the,
That was the deal.
yep. But it's like,
So are we done with this one?
No,
No?
no.
I,
Did you have to have a clerk of the works to be on site?
So are there any recommended improvements you would not move forward with on the highway barn? The new highway barn?
no improvements listed.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was looking for.
Right.
Yeah, I just looked.
Okay.
No, we have,
Do we recommend selling this building?
Yes, no.
as you answer, Eloise, we as the maintenance staff oversee that. We're like the supervisor of the job.
Okay,
Okay.
I make a motion, we approve this piece of paper as just discussed about the new highway barn, including a no vote to sell it. All those in favor say.
Second.
Oh, yeah, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I,
Okay.
do we have to do all of them?
Unless you want to meet again before the 15th?
We probably will have to. There's nothing for the library, we can breeze through that one then.
Is that the next one?
Huh? Let's just do one more and then,
And then meet next week?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kinda beat, since I've been up since 4.
Oh, jeez. How about, I could also make a suggestion
Okay,
that you guys can look at these papers and if you have free time, just make a list of
And then you can compile them?
and then I can mush them all together into one paper.
All right,
And then I could send them for the remaining 6.
I'll print
Now
out,
that we've gone through them and you guys know what we're talking about.
I can, print out my
Tom,
own.
can you tell me what they used for the transfer station energy use, because they said high energy cost?
I cannot. Can we, let's discuss the library
Oh, okay.
and then I'll circle back to that,
That sounds
Okay.
good.
just so we can get this done. This one that I just opened. Okay, so we're talking about library. Do we disagree with any information in the report?
What's the electrical use again?
Can you give me the highlights, please?
Oh, Yes, I
Sidewalk
can.
in poor condition, $9,500. Parking lots in poor condition, $3,300. Flooring in poor condition, $1,200. Recommended follow-up study environmental sample for ACMs. What's ACMs?
I don't know.
Oh, that's in the attic.
Is that asbestos AC?
Yeah, that's blown wool insulation. Been up there for a while.
Leave it alone.
Then they have a fire suppression system, a passenger elevator with elevator controls as a separate line item, and then remodel the bathroom. That's their list of recommendations.
I thought it would always be prudent to talk with the Quinns next door now that Steve no longer has his horses there in that corral. And maybe we could buy that little patch of land for off-street parking.
Right where the three or four lots is now, and just expand it over a little more, right?
So they have, Steve, do you see this? They have $500,000 worth of work they recommend in years 1 to 2, but I can't find a reason for that. Under
600
interiors.
Oh,
Yeah, 579.9 under interiors for a total of 666.
where the heck is that?
It's on that like chart thing, but I don't know where it came from. I'm gonna find their electrical rate.
It was .25.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't want to interrupt you because you were on a roll.
Have you seen Marlboro New Library? I
Mm-mm.
was there with my grandkids. Oh my God, it's beautiful.
But you know something? And I know everybody's gonna argue
They
with
built
me.
it-
In this day and age,
Oh, jeez.
I don't see where libraries are very beneficial to a town.
No.
When the power grid goes down, we'll have,
Huh?
I said when the power
Actually,
grid goes
they're
down,
used
people
for a
will
lot of
like
things.
libraries.
And I still use the library.
Yeah, but what's the percentage of people a day per se that use it? I know
there's
kids, a lot of kids, young
No,
kids.
there's a lot of activity at our libraries. They're
Really?
connected with other towns. One of the nice things, and
Yeah,
that's why,
CMRs,
yeah, because we have CMRs, you can request books from anywhere in the state. You can use your library card
But
at other
why-
libraries because
Why would
you're-
you do that when you can do everything off your,
Because I still read books.
I
And I read older stuff that's not necessarily
oh,
on.
yeah,
I
okay.
mean, I'll be doing research. Some things don't work well.
Yep.
I do use, the ebook system they have,
Yeah.
Libby.
Yep.
Uh,
So is this what, I'm sorry, I didn't mean,
I'm
I'm not,
sorry.
I'm not ignoring you, but she had this number she threw at me. Is this what you're looking at, reserve cost?
No, here, I'll show you.
I wasn't ignoring you, but I had this
Oh,
number.
no, it's
She
just,
threw this
Before you
number in my
lost the
mind here.
plot.
yeah.
Systems expenditure forecast, and unfortunately, I can't make it all fit on one. Oh, maybe I
Oh,
can.
interiors, oh, I
See,
didn't,
interiors,
oh, I
579
didn't
in
go that
that
far.
short.
And how much is $500,000?
I can't find what they're talking about for $500,000.
See, the three items that they're showing now,
Was that the elevator? No.
no, they're showing very low,
There's an elevator and bathroom they talk about.
Yeah, elevator, flooring, environmental study of sidewalk, parking lot. Nothing for
Nothing is
$500,000.
really
I
critical,
don't
yeah.
understand.
Do you wanna call that out then, as
Yeah.
a question?
oh, remember me asking you about this, this recommended fall study of environmental samples?
Yeah.
Well, they're showing, what they're showing is before all these pictures that we have, they're showing this right here is, this is the study for all that, it's vermiculite. And that's that stuff that's in the attic,
Mhm.
so they're probably trying to find out if that's
Bad.
hazardous, that's up there.
Just cost me $8,000 to remove it, and they found no asbestos.
No, usually vermiculite has none.
I
But-
know, but I couldn't get Mass Save to come in until I had it removed.
Yep. That's like when I did my furnace,
Just leave it
Boiler?
alone, don't open that.
try to get rid of asbestos, pipe wrap.
Yeah, that's encapsulation.
Yep. I don't see fire suppression system, 9,700, elevator 5,900, controls 55,
5,900?
yeah.
No.
Passenger
59,000.
elevator, up 59,000, the 5,400, I said it wrong.
Okay.
5,400 is for the controls.
Right? Because why you would have an elevator with optional controls, I don't understand.
Well, that's the rope.
Oh, yeah, yes, yes.
I replaced a freight elevator with a rope, don't laugh.
Well, maybe a chain then.
I think, in all honesty, if I'm looking at this thing, I don't know. I don't
I
see-
wouldn't do anything, just leave it the way it is.
Yeah.
The only one I would do, and I think it can be done in-house, is the
Sidewalk.
sidewalk.
I would agree
So
with
if
that.
you're gonna do sidewalk, you
those-
incorporate it into all the buildings that have sidewalks.
But those sidewalks are also in the safe streets, clean streets, complete streets.
That might be a source of funds.
Yep, I'm writing
You're
it
talking,
down.
but yeah, but that doesn't come under that.
Why not?
Yeah,
Because that's not, that's a, that's not, how do I wanna say it, it's not part of that package, because this is a separate building.
The
not as a-
But it's still on the
I-
same sidewalk that they're
No,
they're
this-
repairing the sidewalk next to it.
I know, but I don't, I could be
So
wrong, and I hope I am,
What
but
sidewalk are they talking about?
To repair at the library?
Yeah,
the one that goes from the front door down to the street.
Down
Yeah.
towards
but
19
that
Carter.
was just done a few years ago. The whole cement and the ramp and everything else.
Yeah,
John,
but it's right by the,
see the corner broken off in this?
yeah, it's like right at the crosswalk.
But all you have to
into
do,
19 Carter.
all you have to do is replace that slab.
Yeah.
You just gotta box that in and
And how
pour,
much they
pour a
want?
slab.
How
That's all
much
you
money
do.
they want for that?
10 grand.
Oh, come on.
They don't want it for it, they just suggest it might cost that much.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's about the only thing that I would say was a priority, because that's a safety issue.
are there any recommendations, improvements you would not move forward with? And the first one I'm gonna say is that interior repairs for 500 grand that they can't define.
No.
Okay, I agree with that.
Are we still thinking to build a new library?
I don't think so.
Okay.
They
So-
wanted it.
Estimated
Right.
cost of replacing the library is 1.2 million. And I think we looked at it a few years back, wasn't it more money than that?
Yeah.
Yes, but it was right down by, South Common Pond.
Right.
It was at the time period though too, we were sure that the septic repair replacement was gonna cost
Yes,
hundreds of
and it didn't.
thousands. And didn't, so that put us in a different spot. Do we recommend selling this building or land?
No,
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
I got
Steve
outvoted.
just got outvoted.
buying adjacent
Hatred
land
of
for
labor
parking.
of libraries. Okay, so I make a motion that we approve this sixth piece of paper as we just discussed with a almost unanimous vote to keep the library.
Second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
I just wanna say, I love the library.
I love the library, I think it's great.
I
My
just-
second daughter-in-law is a librarian, but then she went to the dark side.
Uh-oh.
What is the dark side of libraries?
She works for Harvard Business School,
Oh.
and she's the IT person.
That's
Or
the
one of
dark
the
side.
IT person.
It is.
So what is we doing now?
After she worked for them for 3 years, I had already worked for the town for 20 years, and she had twice as much as I did in her retirement.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So what was the next issue we were gonna do here? We were gonna, I know
So-
postpone, but what John wanted to do, you were gonna talk about
Oh,
something?
I was supposed to check for the transfer station
Yes,
for
for the
Eloise.
electrical.
Well,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
said high energy cost, so I wanted to find out what their
Yep.
high energy cost
Right.
was.
Once it stops yelling at me.
Facility, what's this? Okay, that's,
Come on.
I should have written the amount that they had listed with all the buildings, but I didn't think of that in time.
It's just because I'm not tapping it with the appropriate enthusiasm.
all right.
Maybe Steve can open his.
There we go. I
All
got
right,
it.
heavy.
Haha. No textiles? They won't take fabric?
That's actually a state law now.
Really?
You're not allowed to throw out, any, unless it's dirty, like contaminated, you're supposed to recycle all textiles now, not just mattresses and things.
I sew. It just goes into a quilt.
But you sew with fabric. There's so many plastic clothing.
Oh, you're saying plastics.
No, it's,
No,
no, any
that's
fabric
me.
now, you're not supposed to put it in the trash, you're supposed to, either, I guess, some stores take it, or places it can go to,
Point
I haven't
two,
gotten to that point yet that I have to get rid of fabric.
0.24.
So that's consistent
Oh,
with the
yeah,
law.
so,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now, there's a building I'll vote to take down.
What?
The transfer station?
Look how much money they, if you want, once we get to it, what they wanna fix the thing with, holy mackerel.
what, would you just like put like
Put
a
it, you,
mobile office there or something?
no, yeah, you could put a, you can put one of those Reed's Ferry sheds there, or,
Dude, if we're gonna talk about it, I'm gonna ask questions.
no,
We're gonna get
Yeah,
our homework
sure.
done.
Yeah.
We get it open?
You have feelings about this.
Do we disagree with any information provided in the report?
no.
Oh, the electric cost.
Right, yeah, cost of living, yes.
Okay, any other?
No.
No. Any repairs you feel are the most urgent, or what repairs do you feel are the most
Oh,
urgent?
are you on the library?
no.
No, transfer station.
Transfer
Transfer
station
station.
building.
Since Steve started talking about it, I dove in.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
To knock off another one.
Yeah.
Well, exterior walls, window, moldings, all that stuff is small dollars. So we're
I
talking,
wouldn't repair anything because we were talking about redo the whole, transfer station.
that's what I thought, somebody
Building a
told me,
wall
they were
and
talking
everything
about.
else, so.
Well, they better
Yeah,
bring
but
it here.
those tend to be big bucks when you,
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you could put a 10 by 20 building down there all brand new with doors, overhead doors and windows from like Reed's Ferry for like $6,000.
Nah, it will be more than that, but
Well, what did yours cost, John?
13,000.
Yeah, okay, but yours is a big shed.
Yeah, it's 12 by 16.
I mean, the take it or leave it is a former garage.
Right.
I mean,
I
Berlin has
vote-
always tried to do everything on the cheap.
I'm not on the take it or leave it, I'm on their
Their little shed,
shed.
I vote we pick up the old fire station and move it over there.
So they're on, their one is retaining wall
We just did it.
on that? Well, how come they
on the
have,
transfer station.
yeah,
He requested the money over 2 years, and we said for 24,000, put it in a special article. That way, it's available when he has time.
so they got it as 36.6. There's two walls.
But I thought there was an emergency. We were pretty convinced that those walls were coming down quickly, so
Well,
we gave them all the money.
I'm looking at it, and this one doesn't look too kosher.
The whole transfer
He was
station
gonna get-
has
yeah.
to be
You see that?
redesigned.
Yeah, but if you look at the
It's
dates, it
streamlined.
says evaluate report in
Yeah, but now we're
2023.
getting
Yeah, I
off
know
the
it.
track here.
But
Oh,
have they
so-
done anything with it yet?
Maybe they have.
I never go there, so I don't know.
I do, but I didn't look. I
But the
mean,
building
Stanley
itself-
says, go there. Okay.
So I would put this under a question, you know,
Yeah,
when,
the
something
walls.
you don't agree with for,
Or just say current question mark,
yeah.
information current or something like that.
Retaining walls and question. But the building itself, I mean, dollar-wise, I mean,
Nothing is really urgent
no.
that have to do with.
Retaining walls would be the only thing that's urgent. All the rest of the stuff is 200, 400,
Yeah, petty stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
500.
petty cash.
Yeah.
All I can remember of the next page questions is, do we want to sell the property?
No. If it's cheap, I'll buy it.
The biggest problem of the property, which I don't want in your report, is the landfill has never been officially capped. And the Board of Health has always liked to downplay that.
Where is that?
You know that field?
Yeah, that's what
That's-
it's not.
That's where it was.
Yep.
But it's not, it's never been officially capped.
Really?
Yeah. They just threw dirt on it and eventually grass grew.
How
Yeah,
many
'cause you're
years
supposed
has
to-
it been
yeah.
like that?
25, 30.
It takes about 25, 30 years before it's almost done decomposing.
Yeah. But this stage of the game, it's,
Their feeling was leave well enough alone.
Yeah.
Any recommended improvements we would not move forward with?
I say no.
No,
I would say don't change anything if they're gonna do
Right.
something else.
Yeah, and we recommend against selling it?
Correct.
yeah.
Okay. So I make a motion that we all.
Before you do that,
Oh, Yep.
because the transfer station also includes the take it or leave it shed.
mm-hmm.
So do you wanna put that, is that all on, is that separate or not?
No, it's all on the same piece of paper,
But they're listing it as a separate item.
but it's all in the same report.
No, it's a different report.
No, it isn't.
Is it?
You got Legion Hall, and that's.
No, I'm saying is, we were doing the transfer station building,
Oh,
and then this is part of the transfer station. I didn't know if you wanted to just
But
lump.
this is this report is transfer station and take it or leave it shed.
Oh, I'm on a different one. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Is there anything we wanna talk
Gotcha.
about with the take it or
Nope.
leave it shed?
Nope.
No,
future consolidation, question mark?
consolidation into,
I don't know, are you saying,
No, it's fine.
okay,
I just did that wrong.
because it's 8:49.
Yeah, that's why I said, it's okay.
Okay, so I make a motion, we approve this piece of paper as we just agreed with a no vote on selling the transfer station.
second,
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, so we have 5 things left on our thingy.
Actually, I think it's really 4 because we already voted to take down the last thing.
Oh,
South Common Structures actually already decided on.
Yeah, that was,
Who doesn't listen to you?
it's not you, Julie, it's me.
no, the last one, isn't that the one that we just approved funding for
This one right here.
demolition?
Yeah.
This one right here.
Yeah, but that's 50,000, that includes the demolition and putting in some parking.
Yeah, so I don't think there's really anything, I mean, I'm just saying for the South Common, there really isn't anything.
Right,
South Common structure, there really isn't anything to
to say.
say
So
about
we
it.
got curation, where the hell's curation building?
It's the little white building behind, I just figured it out, it's between
Mhm.
just behind the Bullard House.
Really?
It's pretty new.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
done by,
Assabet,
It's appraised at 400 grand? Wow.
It's
And
just
it's-
a little building, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
appraised
it's
at
a little too-
$420,000. Oh, Bullet Hell, oh my God, don't give me that.
What's the, demolition?
DEMOL.
That's a
ITION.
townhouse shed, right, Croatian
Of-
Public House.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 items left to do.
Should we push through?
Well,
I can do either, but
I don't know about you guys, but I'd like to make it a short meeting next time. How do you feel about that, Eloise?
Okay, short
I'm
meeting
tired.
next time.
John?
Yeah.
Short meeting next time?
Yeah.
So what qualifies as next time for you guys? We have to have this done
When are
by-
you here next, when are you here?
I leave again on the 11th,
Well,
which is a
what,
week from today.
what about the 9th to 10th?
You wanna do it Monday?
I could do it Monday at 7.
select board's not meeting, so we have
Are they
space.
not? Okay.
Well, because some people are taking off for the solar eclipse.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
must be nice.
Oh, when is that, Sunday?
Monday.
Monday.
Monday,
I'm planning on walking outside,
Um,
calling it a day.
whatever day.
Our
you
meeting
want,
is
fine.
usually at night, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
Not during our
they were,
meeting.
they weren't gonna get back in time,
yeah.
so they weren't gonna have quorum.
So you wanna do it on the 8th?
Yeah, if we could, Monday the 8th at 7?
So that works for
Yep.
me.
Okay, perfect. I can book it. And then we can finish these 4 items.
All right, I'm booked.
Wait, before I do this, how many are budgeted? Do we vote to sell South Commons?
only if you wanna get run out of town.
Okay, so I make a motion before we adjourn for the last one, that the South Commons thing that we all agreed had nothing to change because we've already agreed to demolish the building and it shouldn't get sold. I make a
Well,
motion
if
we
they
approve
wanna
that.
sell the building and have somebody else take it apart,
No,
and they
we,
can keep the wood, I don't care.
nah. we already
I
discussed that.
second it.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Steve, aye.
Aye.
Okay,
I make the motion, we adjourn the meeting until April 8th at 7 PM.
seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, see you guys then.
Boy, I
We're
rolled that
adjourned.
one in quick, didn't I, huh?
Uh-huh.
Good job.
8:54 PM.
Yeah.